Spoke with Professor Salim Abdool Karim. He's an epidemiologist and the former head of the Ministerial Advisory Committee on COVID-19 in South Africa. And I started by asking him what we do and what we don't know at this point.
We've been expecting that we will see more variants. So that's why the surveillance systems were established. That's why we were able to pick it up early. And we know through our sequencing what the sequences are of this particular variant. The second is that because it's still quite new, we've only known about this variant for a few days, we don't have the scientific evidence to really guide us about how this virus is causing infection. Is it more severe? Is it escaping vaccines? Those are all unanswered questions. The third point is that we can make some extrapolations based on the mutations. And what we're seeing in the mutations in this variant is that it has mutations that are in common with the other 4 variants of concern. Looking at this kind of variant, it has many mutations, many more than we've seen in the other 4 variants of concern. So besides the mutations that are common with the others, it has a whole lot of new mutations that we know very little about. And so over 30 mutations. So you can see this is going to be a bit of a challenge for us to fully understand this. And so we're going to have to unravel the way in which these mutations are impacting this virus over the next few weeks as our studies start showing results.
How worried are you?
I'm quite worried. When I look at a variant like this, not only does it have characteristics that made the other variants quite concerning, it has a whole of additional mutations that we just don't know. So we're not sure whether it would be able to evade, the antibodies, and those are studies we still need to do. But looking at what I'm seeing in the mutations, that there's a likelihood that it will have some level of immune escape. And if it does, then we would expect that vaccinated people may start getting mild infections. It's unlikely that we would see an increase in severe infections because the vaccines protect well against all of the variants of concern because it's a T-cell response. So while I'm not too worried about in vaccinated people that we may see more infections, I expect most of them to be mild. But those are all presumptions. We still have to wait to see the clinical features of this viral infection.
I mean, there is a possibility that it will bypass vaccines currently available, correct? You just don't know that at this point.
We simply don't know that. And we actually won't know that for a few weeks because those tests take a few days for us to do.
How widespread is it at the moment, as far as you can tell, and how badly could this impact not just South Africa, but the African continent in the next couple of months?
At the moment, worldwide, there's only a handful of cases. But when you are dealing with a variant, by the time you have identified it, in other words, the person got infected, got sick, had a test, you did the sequencing, you are now about 2 weeks or so, 1 to 2, maybe up to 3 weeks after the actual start of the spread of the variant. So you are playing catch up in many ways. And the one thing with this coronavirus is that we learned that time is not on your side. Within a matter of a week, the situation can change. And so it's quite important that the efforts being made in South Africa to try and contain this and to identify any local spread, has really been put into gear, and we're really focusing on that. Because if we fail in doing that, it's quite likely that this variant will spread quite widely.
We are seeing several European and Asian countries ban flights from South Africa and 5 other African countries. And the South African government has released a statement saying, and I quote them here, Africa CDC strongly discourages the imposition of travel bans for people originating from countries that have reported this variant. In fact, over the duration of this pandemic, we have observed that imposing bans on travellers from countries where a new variant is reported has not yielded a meaningful outcome. Given your concerns about the possible spread and the speed at which this could possibly spread, do you agree with that statement?
I agree with it. And I think the fundamental issue is when you're dealing with a pandemic, especially one that spreads as rapidly as this coronavirus, you have to find a way to work with each other. It's our mutual interdependence that will enable us to defeat this virus. If we simply all try to batten down hatches and shun the rest of the world, we're not going to solve this problem. And so I think it's very unfortunate, this step that has been taken. One would have hoped that the UK would want to work with us and put in measures to prevent entry of the virus. That's not a problem. But it has to be in the context of us dealing with this at a global level.
Just this week, almost 100 million vaccine doses began arriving in Africa from the EU through the COVAX scheme. We have talked at length on this show. You and I have talked about this. The head of the WHO has called it simply immoral that there are parts of the world that do not have the sufficient supply of vaccines to ensure that we are not sort of vaccine-rich, vaccine-poor around the world. So a question to you at this point, given the concerns about this new variant, does the continent have the tools at its disposal to fight this?
We have some tools, and some of them are quite nascent, but we are missing several others. When you think about the fact that Africa is running about 7 to 8 months behind the rest of the world in terms of access to vaccines, right? We've only seen large numbers of vaccines being delivered on the continent through the African Union's vaccine acquisition task team and through COVAX in the last few weeks. And now is the big challenge of converting that from vials into jabs in arms. And many of the health services in African countries lack that capacity. So we are going to have to face this in quite a challenging way. But what is important is that you cannot deal with this as Africa. You cannot deal with this as Europe. This is a pandemic. It affects all of us. We have to work together, all of us. And it doesn't help that rich countries have stockpiled vaccines, and then just when they're about to expire, they get donated to Africa. And so, we can't even use them because by the time they get in, we got to get to using them, they are expiring. We've got to find a different way. We've got to find a way that says all of us must work together. And that means that to get Africa vaccinated, we've got to be helping Africa. And we've got to help Africa in a way that encourages and builds some kind of sustainability, because this is not the first epidemic and it's certainly not the last.